Hello everyone, it's Larika here. Welcome to my channel. I'm doing a book haul today again. But before I start with that, I want to talk about something that I just want to talk a bit about books and buying books, because I used to have loads of books, and then when I started traveling and living in different countries, as I said before, I had to get rid of books, and just books were always the thing that I had to get rid of, because trying to move over the ocean with many books is costly. So what is the first thing you get rid of when you move? Is the books, because it's too heavy to pay for to move it. So where I'm now, I'm very settled, so I'm starting to build up my library again. But I was a little bit concerned, because I don't want to get into buying, and I have less things because I prefer that, and I don't want to just like start getting all this stuff, because I get stressed when I have too many things. So I was in this situation where, should I buy books? Should I not buy books? And so I thought, okay, I will just buy as I need a book, I'll buy it, and then take it from there. But then when I look at my bookshelf and I'm like, oh man, I wish I had this book, or I would like a bit more variety, or whatever that is when I see the shelf. So is this a conundrum, right? So yesterday or the day before, I saw this piece of writing from Umberto Eco. He's the writer that wrote The Name of the Rose. That was also a movie by Sean Connery. I've been wanting to buy that book again for ages, so it's on my to-get list. I don't have it yet again, but I really like his writing. So I saw a piece of writing from him, and if you are somebody that is not sure if you should buy a book or not, or if you should have many books, or if you should just buy one book and get rid of it and get a next one, I have the answer for you in this piece of writing from him. And I'm going to read it. It's a bit long, I just have to tell you that, but I think it's worth it if you are not sure on should you buy books or not, or how many books should you have, or what is too much or too little, those kind of questions. So here goes. Umberto Eco, who owned 50,000 books, had this to say about home libraries. It is foolish to think that you have to read all the books you buy, as it is foolish to criticize those who buy more books than they will ever be able to read. It would be like saying that you should use all the cutlery, or glasses, or screwdrivers, or drill bits you bought before buying new ones. There are things in life that we need to always have plenty of supplies, even if we will only use a small portion. If, for example, we consider books as medicine, we understand that it is good to have many at home rather than a few. When you want to feel better, then you go to the medicine closet and choose a book. Not a random one, but the right book for that moment. That's why you should always have a nutritional choice. Those who buy only one book, read only that one, and then get rid of it, they simply apply the consumer mentality to books. That is, they consider them a consumer product. Those who love books know that a book is anything but a commodity. So there you go. So that that gave me the opening to be, okay, I get it, because I like that. I like that idea. I like when I have a certain vibe that I can just go to my bookshelf like I did in the past, and just take the book that I feel at that moment would suit me to read at that moment. And then I put it back again when I'm done. So this morning, my husband and I decided to go to this second-hand bookshop. Oh, no, not a bookshop. It's a charity shop that sells second-hand books as well. It's quite a drive from where we are. It's a few villages over here in Sweden, in Skåne. But that was a place that we've been to before, and I have seen a lot of English books there because, of course, it's hard to find English secondhand books up here where I live. So we thought, okay, he suggested, shall we go there? I'm like, yes, please, let's do it. So we went book shopping this morning, and I bought a bunch of books. I don't know. I'm going to go through them and you will see. I hope you don't get bored. But I will show all these different books, and they are just a variety of books because, of course, I don't have that much option. So if I see a book that I think I might like, I'm just taking it because I don't know if I'll ever get that chance again over here to get a book like that. So I got a whole bunch of books, and it came to 220 Swedish crowns, which is basically $22. And including in that price was 3 paintings. And there's one in the back here. You might see it. I don't know how clear it is, that I got for me, for my room, for this room. So I was super happy about that. I mean, that is really cheap for all of this. So I'm going to go through them and show them. And it's a variety. Some serious, some frivolous, just a bit of everything. And they are going in my shelves. So the first one is called Women in Love by H.G. Lawrence, which I think everybody knows. I'm really excited about this one because I have never read this book. So I think I will like to read this. H.G. Lawrence. And then as part of my reading plan that I have to read a bit more literature, a few videos back, I will also link it below again. I talked about certain themes that I want to cover for my reading, so I get back into my reading, and one of them is South African authors. Now, this lady is not a South African author. She's actually British, but she lived for many years as a young person in Zimbabwe, and her name is Doris Lessing. I believe people will know about her, and it's called Under My Skin, and it's the first volume of her autobiography up until 1949, and this is the time she lived in Zimbabwe. So I'm really very interesting to see her perspective, especially all those years ago during the time of colonialism and before Zimbabwe had its independence. So I think it would be interesting to read her perspective. I really admire Doris Lessing. So then another one is Joanne Harris, Coastliner. You can see. Ooh. I used to love Joanne Harris. My goodness, I read her books like crazy. I read all her books, and I believe I might have read this book, but this was long ago. I can't remember. So I just love her writing, and I haven't read her in many years. So it's time. I found this book. It was super cheap, so why not? And it's a hardcover, and I don't know if you can see here, but it has that, sometimes when they bind books, they bind the edges. It's not even. It goes like these papers, and those are my favorite books, but they usually cost quite a lot. So this one is like that. So I love it. They didn't cut it flat at the end here. So I'm really, I think I'm going to just really enjoy reading this book. So there's another one. And yeah, this is by Ira Levine. And he also wrote Rosemary's Baby. And this is probably, everybody knows this one as well. It's an old copy of the Stepford Wives. And yeah, I've if I've had it on my to-read list. So when I saw it there in the secondhand bookshop up here, I thought I just got to grab it because I've been wanting to read this book because I'm very intrigued by the concept of these women that are perfect Barbie dolls. Can I say that? That live in this community, and so I'm really very intrigued. I know there was a movie. I think I only saw the trailer for it. I didn't watch a movie either, so I'm really curious. And Rosemary's Baby is also quite a book, a story. So I think I would be very intrigued to read The Stepford Wives. And then this one, I have no idea. It's called The Magician's Elephant by Kate DiCamillo. I have no idea about this book. I don't know anything about it. It's just a cute little book. And on the back, it says, when a fortune teller's tent appears in the market square of the city of Baltese. I only had to read when a fortune teller's tent appears, and I knew I had to have the book. So I bought it because of that. And then when I kind of did this through the book, I saw some images, right? So it looks like it's more like maybe a children's or young adults kind of book. I want to see just when was this book published as well. 2015. This edition was 2009. So it's not an old book. It's not an old book. It just feels old, right? So I'm really like this book. Oh my gosh, 2009 is actually quite old, isn't it? 2025. Oh, yeah. Okay, time flies. So let's go on. This book I also have no idea about. It is called The Swan Thieves by Elizabeth Kostova. And she also wrote apparently a book called The Historian. So that's the cover. And I read it because I bought it because on the back cover it just, again, I just had to read the first part and then I just had to have it. Dr. Andrew Marlowe has a perfectly ordered life, full of devotion to his work and the painting hobby he loves. This order is destroyed when renowned artist Robert Olivier attacks a canvas in a national gallery and becomes his patient. Perfect setup. It's like probably nothing to do with it, but when an artist that loses it, Van Gogh, right? I don't know. It just something about this. I just thought I think I will like this book. And I haven't even read the first line. I usually read the first line before I buy a book. Outside the village, there is a fire ring, blackening the thawing snow. Oh, okay. So I think I will like this one too. Oh my gosh, what's the time? It's going to be a long one, and if you don't want to watch it, fine, but I'm just going to push through. So next is an Ian McEwan. I thought I had two No, there's just one Ian McEwan. Ian McEwan, and it's Amsterdam. And this is another author I used to read a lot of his books. I actually think I read this book as well. I owned this book in the past, before Kindle times, really. So, yeah, it's interesting to read him again because I haven't read him in many years. And, Atonement, of course, you all know Atonement. So I just wanted to have it in my library. A lot of these books are books that I used to have, and because of the moving, I had to get rid of them. I couldn't bring everything with me all over the places I lived. So, yeah, I feel really, really good to get my books back. And then there's another South African author, which is part of this, is one of the themes, as I said, for my reading plan, my literature reading plan. And this is Andre Brink, and it's called The Ambassador. So, I like Andre Brink. He writes I like what he writes. And I know he left South Africa, I think it was in the 60s. I can't remember exactly when. And he moved to Paris because of the apartheid. He didn't want to live there, so he left. And it says here, Paris, the early 60s. Paul van Heerden is the only South African the French Foreign Office will listen to. And yet at the time of the Sharpeville massacre, Ambassador van Heerden is having an affair with the promiscuous, seductive Nicolette, also the mistress of Stephen Cater, the embassy's third secretary. So it brings in quite a bit of the, I think, of the history of South Africa and the Sharpeville massacre. If you don't know about it, it was happened outside Johannesburg. Youth had a march, and police killed a lot of young people. We still today is a day of memorial now in South Africa to just remember that we shouldn't do things like that again. I'm interested to read Andre Brink's book, The Ambassador. And then let's just finish the South African thing, shall we? Then we have Alan Paton's Cry, the Beloved Country. That's how the cover looks. And it's also another classic. It was written quite a while back, 1953. So it's not a new book. So I think probably most people know about this book. It's just another South African book. And then I saw this book, and I just had to buy it. Just the title, The Moth and Other Stories. And it's short stories by H.G. Wells, Somerset Maugham, Edgar Allan Poe, James Turber, and Oscar Wilde. So it feels like it'll give me a little bit of a bit of everybody, right? All those writers. I mean, there's even Charles Dickens. Let's see who else is in here. W.W. Jacobs. So many short stories. And it was printed in 62, published in 62. Maybe not printed, published. Then there's I will show this. It's just a fun book. I read this when it first came out because, of course, I know people frown at this, but Twilight. I liked Twilight. I really loved Twilight, to be honest. And so then when Stephanie Meyer wrote another book, The Host, I had to buy it, right? So here is my copy of The Host that I got secondhand now for next to nothing. So I'm going to read it again. I'm actually, confession time, I like The Host so much that I wrote fan fiction on The Host. Oh goodness, that was just like, many years ago. So yeah, I liked it. And then there were two books of the same author, Zadie Smith, too. So I was really happy. So the first one is N.W. Yeah. And the second one was White Teeth, her first novel. So I haven't read Zadie Smith in so long, I can't even remember all the ins and outs. So I'm quite keen to read her again. I really used to really love Zadie Smith, but I can't remember anything. So my brain, And then there's two more and a bonus. So what is the time? Oh my goodness. So this one is, I was like thinking about history for a while and how intrigued I am by history. And South Africa was, the Dutch came to South Africa in 1652. And so I I don't know what led up to that and how Europe was until that time. Around that time, that led to so many people coming to South Africa from Europe. And so when I saw this book in the secondhand shop called Europe in Crisis, 1598 to 1648 by Geoffrey Parker, I thought this might be like a little bit of a history for me to just get a bit of a sense of what was going on in Europe at that time, leading up to the time that the Dutch came to South Africa and put you call it a colony there, not exactly, something like that. So yeah, I thought that might really be an interesting book to read, and how Europe was at that time, because I don't really know anything unfortunately, about that history. This book was first published in 1979 and then reprinted. The fourth reprint of this was in 1984, so it's been around. And then the last one here is well-read copy. I mean, it's a short story Masterpieces. And you can see it's a well-read copy. Look, it's even got that lovely green, like, when it's old and well-read. Very, very old pages. Let's see, when was it printed? 1969, and people read this. It's like, so, yeah. Ernest Hemingway, James Joyce, F. Scott Fitzgerald, John Steinbeck. I know, just the list just goes on. Frank O'Connor, Elizabeth Taylor, John Steinbeck, I think I said already, Eudora Welty. So it's short stories from lots of those authors, and it's always nice to have a book, I think, that has a lot of authors in one book and pieces of their work, so you can get a taste of it, and then, oh, actually, I like how this person writes. I think I'm going to buy a book of them. Does that make sense? I kind of like doing that. And then this one is, I just need to make sure I got her channel right. So Julie from Bookish Travels, I hope you watch this. She bought a book and she talked about it, a book that was on my list to buy as well. It's called The Full Moon Coffee Shop by Mai Mochizuki. And she said, if I get it, then maybe we should read it together. So I got it, Julie. Let's see, maybe we can do together a read along. Is that the word you call it? I don't know the terms, but I have this book, so we could read it at the same time. So that was all my books. Yeah, I think that was it. And I was so happy about it. I just feel like I went, like, I was 7 years old and my mom gave me some pocket money and I went into the candy shop and I could just buy like whatever I wanted. So I'm just very happy about my books. So do you know any of these? Have you read any of these? How do you feel about home libraries, and like having books that you might not pull out all the time? Yeah, I'm really building out mine again, and I'm very, very happy about it. Yeah, so I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day further, and until next time, bye.